Music World Cup. As I mentioned earlier, that we will be having 30 participants on stage representing each country. And in choosing those musicians, a music organization in every country is going to choose amongst the musicians that are prominent in their country who can represent them on national duty or who can represent their country. We also have a recommendation for teams that will be participating where they also add 5 extra members who act as the music director, who also act as a medic of the same team, and the choreographer of the same team. We also have someone who does the lyrical content of that team or the songwriter of that team. Now, these countries are going to compete firstly at continental level in their continents. And these countries will then migrate to the semi-finals, quarterfinals, and obviously the finals. What we are going to be doing is that only 5 groups are going to be there in the semi-finals. So in these 5 groups, we are also having 5 countries which qualify to the semi-finals. And from the semi-finals, that's when we are choosing fewer teams going now to the quarterfinals, and we will only remain with 2 teams which go to the finals. On the question about whether the Music Cup has been done before, where and how, this is going to be the first ever Music World Cup competition to be held in the history. There's never been an event like this, which is what is making it exciting for us as well. It is going to be the first ever Music World Cup in 2016, and preparations are starting right away for countries which want to participate in the Music World Cup. About the formation of MUWOFO, MUWOFO was started online due to the geographical locations of the musicians that we had. It was going to be difficult to be meeting and discussing things where, you know, another musician is somewhere in China and another one is somewhere in Sudan. But the common place where we could meet and discuss issues was online. And then from there, we started talking about on how we can implement ideas from that online forum to see tangible things. For some months, we were only there just discussing these issues, but we never took practical steps. That is when we decided that we needed to have a headquarters somewhere, and we needed to have people and qualified people on the ground. If you see our organogram of our organization, you see that we have the president, we have the vice president, we have the executive directors, and we have people in different departments, marketing, finance, legal affairs. But then we have a board of musicians that are selected every year to make sure that we do not divert from the original vision and the mission of why this organization was formed. So these are only there on advisory level. As you know also that they also have music careers to run. It is difficult to make them to commit to this organization, but their views and their concerns are always taken into account.
I just have just a few questions. First of all, is the World Cup genre specific? Are there certain genres that you're looking for, or is it as a global music event, then it includes all other genres? And are you involved with any other organizations such as Arts and Culture or Sambro, for purposes of as the Honorable that just said about when it comes to music piracy and all of that? Are you involved with those organizations? And third, I like the concept. I love the concept. Just a concern that to somebody who's ordinary, to somebody who's just a listener of music, how healthy is the competition between all the artists that are going to be participating, either either as a band or as soloists?
Thank you, sir. Firstly, we need as many genres as possible because we want to revive cultures. Some cultures are dying and some music is dying. Some music genres are not known anymore. And some are getting more exposure than others. So we are saying that this Music World Cup will give a platform for every country to actually perform the music that they have in their own country because we want to know that culture, we want to learn it. Now, the biggest question could be, how do you judge reggae and rumba and swing? You know, how do you judge rock against house music? Now, we sat with some music professors down to try to find a solution to how we can judge this competition. Now, what we'll do is that we'll have each country performing 3 songs. The first song, we are calling it a celebration song, which is a fast song, because it is difficult to judge a fast song and a slow song. So every country will be obliged to perform a celebration song, which is a fast song, and also an intimate song or just generally a slow song. But then we can't crown you kings if you have not performed music which is done in Portugal and you're in South Africa. It is quite obvious that probably if you're coming from Jamaica, you will end up singing reggae at the competition. But we want to see if you are a reggae artist, how well you can play Mbaqanga, for example. So the third song has to be a foreign genre or a foreign song that every country participates. And this is also going to help us to promote, to celebrate cultures and others appreciating the cultures of other nations. So you will find Team South Africa performing the local music, yes, but then they will have to perform a song of a music genre from Portugal. That is the criteria that we use there.
Interesting cultures and demographically as musicians, you'll find out that there's so many other musical instruments that no one has seen. So for us, by just having everyone and each and every musician to come to present their talent, what we do is you'll find out that we will have to learn new musical instruments. We will have to learn new other stuff that we didn't know out there.
I hope that answers your question. Okay. In terms of, are we affiliated to SAMRO? Are we affiliated to any other music organization? Or do we follow the standards that have been laid so far? I'll say yes to that. You see, the musicians that we have are also musicians in their own right, with their own music projects. And we also know the laws which govern every music industry in every country which they adhere to. MUWOFO is not coming to compete with organizations that are there already. MUWOFO is coming to work together with organizations that are there to at least come up with something which improves the music industry. Now, if you notice how we are structuring our Music World Cup, we are actually inviting music organizations from different countries which can work together with MUWOFO in organizing this Music World Cup. Selection of a country is not a responsibility of MUWOFO, but we leave it upon a music organization that is open to work with MUWOFO to organize a team which they present as their national team. We've made our membership so open to any musician. In fact, we have 3 levels which a person can be a member of MUWOFO. Firstly, as a musician in his or her own right. Secondly, music studios are also able to register with us as members, as we are able to help them and aid them as well. We realize that most of the music that you are seeing, that you are hearing on radio and you are seeing on TV is actually coming from some home studios. Not all musicians are able to pay large sums of money and go into big studios. But then these music studios also need help to make sure that they also produce quality music. Hence, we are working with this. We cannot neglect the music studios and focus on musicians, because at the end of the day, they are going to go back to these music studios. And so we are saying that we want to work with them. If there is any help that they need, we also give them that help. And the third level, to be a partner with, or to be a member of MUWOFO, is when you are a music organization or an arts-related body with music in it. We are doing partnerships and see how we can push your vision and how we can also push our vision.
Any other questions from the guests and also from the region?
Hi, my name is Grace. I'm a business owner. Thank you very much. I'm sure this was long overdue. I'm very excited about the project and the things that I'm hearing today. Very encouraging, and obviously word will definitely be out there. I'm sure partly he asked the question or you partly answered, but I think it's best I ask again myself. As you've mentioned earlier, you've said more than 200 countries are part of MUWOFO already, and we are currently hosting a press conference at the moment. The date that you've given of July, I think we're left with less than 6 months till December. The 14th you'll be announcing the host country. Is there currently something that, how do I put it? MUWOFO obviously is global. Currently at the moment, is there anything out there that you're doing to educate the other countries that are not fully aware of such an organization so that they join in? Because I think what is very important that you mentioned earlier is to get the voiceless so that they get that exposure and get the platform. So given the dates that you've mentioned and there's very little time left, is there any kind of advertisement going around so that people are fully aware of it? And not everybody has access to internet and that part of that kind of exposure. So, but from my side, I will definitely get the word out there. I'm very honored to partner with such an organization.
Thank you. What we decided to do with the marketing team is that we had to find a fast way of getting the message across to, like you say, every country in all 4 corners of the world. And we've decided to have brand ambassadors in each country, 2 brand ambassadors representing MUWOFO. Now these people are just there to carry the message on different platforms. Of course, we do have our communications team, our communications and public affairs team within the team. MUWOFO. What we have started doing now is making sure we contact every TV station all over the world. Now we are sending press releases all over the world. And we are also making sure we do partnerships as well as with different radio stations. But now the message that we are carrying to the world is going through these brand ambassadors that we have. Because they know the demographics of their country better than we do. They know how to approach and how to relay messages better than we do. And we're also getting feedback from them on what the people there are saying to us. And I actually believe that, you see, with music, it is something that people cannot do without. You can't do an event without music. You can't do a funeral or you can't do a celebration without music. You can't have church. You can't have any religious activity without music. That's how important music is. And if you want, I believe he asked a question which I also need to answer about how healthy is it that countries are coming to perform at one stage and compete. Now, the essence of this Music World Cup is not really to bring competition amongst artists, but like I said, it is to celebrate culture. Now, we want to build a culture of unity, hence even on our competitions and on the International Music Festival, we have artists joining from different countries doing collaborations. Now, through MUWOFO, there are artists who have done a lot of collaborations without even meeting. I myself have done a song with Bruno Migliari, who is in Brazil, but we've never met. We only met through the internet and through that Music Worldwide Forum, and the song was high on the music charts in Brazil and here in Africa as well. Now you see, such collaborations that we are having are meant to just build up the brand and to bring unity amongst musicians as opposed to a culture of competing amongst themselves. The one thing that I love about musicians, when musicians meet, they appreciate each other, the talent that they have. It's not always competing for the sake of wanting to be better, but it's competing for the sake of appreciating and showing the talent that you have and also encouraging others. So I hope that answers you about how we get the message across.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is there any other questions or comments from anybody? Okay. Well then, we're going to close with our saxophonist, James. But I would like to take this, while he sets up, obviously I'd like to take this opportunity in thanking one and all for attending. We know you are very busy and your schedule is quite tight in the media world. So once again, we'd like to thank you for this. And please partake in teas, coffees, refreshments. Anything else? No? Okay, well anyway, thank you so much. Again, I'm Sandy Miraj Pillay, and thank you all for coming here.